Hello, this is another card for my 2017 Father's Day cards. This card is very whimsical. It's very easy to replicate. You can give this to any father in your life and they should get quite a little grin from it. It's a very simple design. It just has a top hat on the inside, a top hat on the outside, a mustache, and a monocle. I thought that adding the gold tape, this is sticky tape, gave it a nice little extra something and a little dapper rhinestone on the hat. Let me go through the materials that I used to make this card. I have my card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a black mat cut 5 1/4 by 4. A pattern paper gray design, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4, and I have a white panel which is also cut 5 inches by 3 3/4. A black mat which, let's see, this is cut 4 inches by 2 3/4, and a white panel which is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. I'll be using Versafine Onyx black ink today, and this features some watercoloring, so I have some watercolor pencils. I have 3 shades of brown, 2 shades of gray, 2 shades of blue, black, and teal. The stamp set I'm using today is Something to Celebrate by Stampin Up, and this What a Gentleman stamp set by Fiskars, which has several mustaches to choose from and a couple of hats. This was, I thought, was very nice for masculine cards. I'm also going to be using gold glitter tape and some rhinestones. Let me clear this away and then I'll jump right in and start making the card. First thing is going to be doing some stamping. So I'm going to stamp the front panel with the Versafine. I'm using my grid mat to try and line it up to make sure I get it as straight and centered as I can. Pretty good. I have this rag which is soaked with my self-made do-it-yourself stamp cleaner. I've mentioned it a few times by now. Everyone should know. You can find it on my channel. So now I'm going to work on the inside panel. This is a very solid lettering stamp, so I'm going to have to be really sure that I get a good inking. I could use my Misty tool for this, but I'm going to really try first to see if I can get it before I go to the Misty. The Misty helps if you have solid stamps, so if you don't get a good impression the first time, you can try again. But if I don't get it the first time, I'll just grab the Misty. Pressing down really hard. And careful not to rock it. Ah, good. I got it. Clean this real quick. And now I want to take the hat and give it a little jaunty tilt to the side. And have it sitting right on the letters. Okay. And I forgot the monocle. Okay. Now I need to take the front pattern paper and stamp right along the bottom, Happy Father's Day. And I keep putting that away. I have accidentally put my arms and elbows and everything in the Versamark, so I tend to I've gotten in the habit to immediately close it to try and prevent that. So you may notice that I'm opening and closing the Versamark over and over again. That's why. It's not very efficient, but I have to train myself. Hopefully I'll get this straight. Pretty good. I'll clean this. Alright, set that aside to dry. Move this, and now I will move on to my watercoloring. I'm going to illustrate how to do watercoloring on the mustache, and then I'm going to fast forward through the rest because the steps are the same. So I'm pulling out all of the browns, and you start out with your lightest. It's rather difficult to see that there are shades of these browns because they're all very close, but you go all over with your lightest brown like this, and then you start from the next one up, and you start at the ends, and you add some shadows from both sides and follow the curve, and out to the next one. And then the darkest brown. And then you go all over with the lightest in a circular fashion, and this blends the colors that you've just laid down. And you go back and forth until it looks like you want it to look. Keep in mind that it's going to do a lot more blending once I bring in the water, which I will show you now, even though I wanted to do the other stuff. So I have my aqua pen and a piece of paper to clear my brush. Start the water flowing on the back of my hand. There we go. And you just blend it across. And this is not watercolor paper, so it will peel if you put a little too much moisture on it. But for this little bit of coloring I needed, I did need to pull out watercolor paper for this. And there you go. So I'm going to go through and do the rest and fast forward through this. Okay, that's all the coloring. It just needs a second to dry. Meanwhile, let me put these things away. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to start assembling the card. It's very simple from this point. Okay, now just a little bit of sparkle on the monocle with my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. And that makes the glass seem really sparkly. Okay, that's the finished card. It was very simple, very quick. I had a couple of issues. I didn't realize that my mat wasn't the right dimensions, so I quickly trimmed that, which you saw. And I didn't get this quite as straight as I would have liked, but you know, that's what happens when you have handmade cards. Each one is unique. Thanks for watching my videos. I'd like to thank my brother David for providing the music which I use for my videos. He's an excellent musician. Please check out his channel. I'll have a link to it below in the comment section. Thanks for watching and happy Father's Day to everyone.